set your problems, I'm here to give you free advice.
I think my friend's mom is low-key trying to seduce me.
So low-key seduce her.
My parents are going to send me to military school if my grades don't improve.
Send her, motherfucker.
I just found a fire shorty, but she lives in Staten Island.
So?
My knee hurts.
Fuck your knee.
I have a problem with the NYPD.
So do I.
I'm on a 10-hour flight and my phone is about to die.
Don't charge it. I don't give a fuck.
I have severe chronic back pain from all this ass I gotta carry.
Grow some titties so you can balance that shit.
My baby mamas are beefing.
You know what? Just throw dick in the middle. Let them beef some more.
I'm a New York Jets fan.
Sucks to fucking be you.
My uncle just got out of prison and he's already back to scamming. Should I snitch to his parole officer?
Listen, you rat ass bitch. Fuck out of here. Get down with the scam, man. You don't have load.
I was 50.
Natalie, what's up?
I was 54 years old. I had just met a man. And I just met him, and we were having the best time. Finally met my person. But it was amazing. It was amazing. It was amazing. It really, truly was amazing. And then one morning, it was so painful. When I tried to let a little bit out, I couldn't go. I had to squeeze it. I had to let. It took me almost 10 minutes to just empty my bladder because it was so painful.
Welcome to Beige Phillip. Leave a message at the beat.
Dante.
Hello. Please state your name after the tone, and Google Voice will try to connect you. To accept, press 1.
You think you know about relationships, but you're wrong. Listen, there's no magic bullet. I'm teaching life skills.
When you're sick, you need medicine. It don't always taste good. Nah. But it'll get you better. You need this medicine. It ain't gonna always taste good. But this is what you need. Men and women, bottom line, we need to have the conversation. Your partner wants to give up control, but only if you know how to drive. This is about being the best you could ever be, whoever you are. I don't care if you're a man, a woman, LGBTQ, space alien. I'll save anybody. I don't care. I'll teach a hedgehog how to have a threesome.
What do you mean by that?
Look, you don't have to listen to me, but you're wrong.
Test.
Listen, I know I'm
Testing.
great. And I know you're thinking, Dante, there's no way I could be like you. But you could be me. You know why?
Because you know who I was? Before I was me, I was you.
Man, score 202.
Better hear what I've got to say because you won't get it again.
I'm not an alpha male. I'm not a beta male either. I'm just a better man. Well, put your happiness first, because if you don't, they won't.
Yo, what up? GYBB, get your balls back. WWDD, what would Dante do? Sexual Revolutions being podcasted, and I am excited. What's up, my people? What's going on, my peoples? It's good to be back. We had a little mix-up on Tuesday. Studio wasn't open. I did all that traveling and didn't get in, but I'm here now. Thursday night. Running a little late, just did a little technical difficulties. Don't forget to share and comment. Let's get the likes up, y'all, please. Everybody hit the likes up. Let's get the likes up immediately. Phone number is up. It's always scrolling on the bottom, if nothing else. If I don't have it up on the screen, it's always scrolling on the bottom. Also, the Cash App and the PayPal is on the bottom as well. If you don't want to QR code, send me some money. Cash App's open. PayPal's open. Let's see who's in the comments. Say what's up before we get into it. Let's see who's in the building today. Comments is a little light today. Everybody give me a thumbs up if you can hear me good. Cyclops in the building. Hooney Giori. Thank you, Hooney. New Rhino TV. Fitz. Cyclops. Luis De Jesus. HBD. Let's go. If the sound is good, please give me a thumbs up. Thank you. ZD Harmony's in the building. Kenny B got a thumbs up from Kenny B. People coming in. Let me give it a few seconds before we get into it. How's everybody doing? I hope everybody's well. Wishing everybody all the success and love and positivity that one could possibly have. Getting a little feedback there. Let me get that down. But it's good to be here. Good to be back. I mean, I haven't been live in a minute. Things been a little crazy, but back on track. Back in black. Eric Piranda, Wood Shredder, in the building. What up, Eric? Let's see. Quick tip. If you're going to go live, start on YouTube and then keep it on standby for 10 minutes so people can gather in. Yeah, I'm trying, bro. I mean, I appreciate it, though. See who else is in here. Who's in the comments. Everybody get the likes up, please. Get the likes up. Phone lines are open. Call in 929-269. Somebody needs to get in early. Get in and get out. I totally get it. I got a call from a good friend of mine, famous DJ. I won't say his name because I don't get down like that. But because also if I say his name, you'll know who he is. Call me up. Oh, wow. Is it do not disturb? Jesus, did I not turn the phones on? Off. Okay. My bad. Phones are on now. Sorry. Yeah, call me up. Said to me, this was the scenario. So, I mean, and this is going to be pretty common, but you're going to find that got a lot of guys see this. Like, so, met up with this girl. They were hanging out at a party. Things was vibing. They were vibing. He was vibing. Everything was cool. They were moving to another party. So they was going to bounce from the original party and to go to the next party. He didn't ask for the number. Went to the next party. We all know what happened. Anybody in the chat know what happened? She didn't show up for the next party, of course. Opportunity loss, right? So he said, man, I'm just frustrated because I really felt like we was vibing the whole party. And this is when I talk about subtext a lot. Subtext meaning when we do the things that we do, there's a underlying communication that we're making. Whether or not we realize it or not, we are communicating certain things. And that is whether we know it or not. I always make the comparison like when we talk about a tell, like a poker tell, right? You see guys play professional poker, and when they play professional poker, what you'll find is a lot of times they will have a something that they'll do that kind of leaves them. It kind of communicates to the other people that maybe they might be bluffing, or maybe they got a better hand, or they got a good hand or something. So you'll see people who play poker, they'll have a baseball hat on and dark shades and they'll, hoodie on and stuff like that. It's a way of kind of covering up all the things that what might give away or might communicate the fact that you have a good hand. Because it's really difficult to lie. It's not always easy to understand, interpret what the lie is, but it's difficult to not lie, to not give any clue to what's going on in your head, especially if you have somebody who's experienced in reading what people do. So, for instance, if a guy is playing poker and he gets a royal flush, he might scratch his nose. Or every time he's bluffing, he might fidget in his seat. And a good poker player will kind of notice these things. And once they notice these things, it gives them an upper hand on what the intention of somebody is when the intention is supposed to be hidden. So anyway, so my boy, he said he was vibing with this girl at a party. It seemed to be going well by his accord, right? Sometimes I question that. I mean, we've had guys on the live who called in and said, hey, the date was great, and then she never called me. We had sex and we never called me back. Then I would be like, well, maybe it wasn't as good as you thought it was. Maybe you just thought it was great. Very possible. Understand this, that women have an intuitive ability that they can read all of that. Now, if they like you, they would, Sterling, you could call in. Ain't nobody on the phone, call in. I'll answer it if you want me to answer it. Sterling Borg just sent me a question, but call in if you want to talk about it. Phone lines is open. But it will give you, women can read what's going on just if they like a person and the person is giving off some kind of energy that maybe is not productive for what their outcome is. They will overlook it. They'll make themselves believe that things are not what they really are. But there's never a situation. Anytime I hear somebody is called up here and they said, oh, the relationship was great, and then all of a sudden she changed. People don't change, bro. People are who they are. The difference is that sometimes we don't judge them with the same veracity that we would judge them if we didn't like them. So, phone lines is open, 929-269-4922. PayPal's up, Cash App's up. Send me some money. Everybody's coming into the chat. Everybody's coming into the live. Numbers are going up. I love it. Let's get the likes and the shares up, please. If y'all, somebody that needs to hear this, or somebody's been trying to listen, text them, share it and text it to them. Let's start doing that as well. But yeah, so went to the next party. Naturally, the girl didn't show up. So he calls me up and he says, hey, he gives me the scenario, and I ask him, well, what's the question? And he was like, well, what, I felt like we really vibed. And I go, well, there's no, understand something. When you can read the signals, when you read the subtext, there's no one thing that tells you exactly what was going on. Very rarely is there one scenario where we know exactly what somebody was thinking, but it is the sheer magnitude or the sheer number of things that point in one direction or the other. You know what I mean? Big shouts to Eric Peranda. Set that $5 on the Cash App. Thank you, Eric. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you. But there's a multiple things will give us a direction to figure out what was going on. So this is what I said. I said, why? I asked him right away, why didn't you ask the girl for the number? Why didn't you ask for it? He said, well, we were gonna be in the next, we were gonna, go to the next party together, blah, 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 blah. I figured I'd wait then. Now, here's the thing. I'm gonna give you an example. Let's say Michael Jordan is volunteering his time, and he decides he's gonna go to an elementary school and tutor or do a exhibition of basketball to help kids to make their game better, right? Not Donald Trump. Jesus, I got Trump on the brain. Michael Jordan, he doesn't have to read game tape. He's not gonna go and read the tape for the last 3 games of the kids he's getting ready to teach, because the point is he's so far ahead of these kids that anything he does is beneficial to them. Him just meeting him maybe inspires people. But my point is, we strategize and we try to pick the right time to ask the right questions. We don't want to say things too early or not too early or not early enough, whatever. Because why? Because it's not a scenario where it's Michael Jordan and a bunch of elementary kids. It is a situation where you honestly don't believe that you are worthy of the young lady that you're talking to. So you want to make sure that you ask. In your mind, you're like, if I ask at the right time, everything's going to be fine. If I'm not too pushy, and don't get me wrong, it's possible you could be, it's possible for somebody to read where your head is at, but it's just obvious to me that if you're in a situation where you feel as though you have been working on yourself, you are the absolute best version of yourself, what are you going to do? But you're just going to shoot your shot. I had a friend of mine who went to an Usher concert, and Usher sent his goons over, yo, Usher would like you to come up and come backstage and blah, 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 right? She's a big Usher fan, so naturally, bam, she went, right? He didn't say, well, make sure he didn't give the goons a specific itinerary of what to say, or don't say it when, don't be too harsh. He just said, yo, go, pointed the chick out, yo, go get that one for me. And she went, right? Why did she go? Because she felt, in her mind, she feels that Usher is at a higher level than her, that it's advantageous for her to go when she has that opportunity to go when she's called. And she knows she better go right away, because if she doesn't go right away, there's a good chance that somebody else will go in her place. The arena is full of women who want to go get called backstage by Usher, right? Herpes and all, right? I don't get it, but okay. My point being, that we are in a situation where we only strategize in situations where we wonder if we're good enough. We wonder if we can win. We want to do the right thing at the right time so that we don't make a mistake. When the reality is that you have to understand something. If you're pursuing a girl, and I've said this 100 times, you are going to do things that you didn't want to do. You are going to go places you didn't want to go. You're going to listen to stuff you don't want to listen to. You're going to spend money that you don't want to spend. You're going to have to meet people that you don't want to meet. So I'm not saying that it's not beneficial. I'm not saying that men shouldn't pursue women, but I'm just saying that this is part of the thing, that you're going to have to make these compromises. If there's a conversation, most of the time you're going to have to keep the conversation going. Exactly. $1,000 a baby. Asha knows what his value is, and because he has so many options, right? Because he has multiple options, he's going, you get her, okay. She didn't want to come. All right, well, what about this one? Well, he has his pick. But when you are strategizing, should I call her back tonight? I mean, how long should I wait till I call her back? You should call her back when you want to call her back, because that really gives a real sense of the fact that you are confident about the product that you're selling, that you're not hesitant. Am I good enough? Do I have what somebody would want, or what somebody, what I have to offer, is it good enough? So here's a guy who's a famous DJ, knows Jay-Z and Busta Rhymes, has been on all kinds of stuff and been on TV and all kinds of stuff. But in his mind, when it comes to an attractive girl who, to be honest, has achieved nothing in her life of any significance. I mean, she's fine. I mean, she's got a job, but she's cute. She's hot. So because she's smoking hot, all of his achievements, all of the things that he's done in his life that give him value, don't even measure up to the fact that she's attractive in his mind. And so he acts accordingly. I've asked this 100 times. How do women get to know who you are? And the answer is you tell them. You communicate with them. How do they know where you work or where you live, or how many sisters you got, or how many brothers, or how you tell them. This is information that they might ask, or that you volunteer. But trust me, the tone of getting that and giving that information is also being heard loud and clear. If your posture, if you're not standing up straight, if your shoulders are rolled over, if you're whispering, if you don't speak prominently, if you're not clear about what you're saying, if you're long-winded, all of those things communicate a lack of ineffectivity. I don't know if that's a word or not, but we're going to go with it. Just to be ineffective. You get guys who will talk and talk and talk, and they'll just go, blah, 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 blah. Why are they doing that? They're doing that because they don't want to know. They're afraid that what they have to present is good enough. Why do I say never let a woman define you? Because it won't be long until you ain't shit. Because you never let anybody define you. Because if you let other people define you, right? It won't be too long until you ain't shit. So your whole being, your whole value as a human being is based on what somebody else says. So that's great when they love you, but when they don't like you, or you go against them or rub them the wrong way, all of a sudden you ain't shit. So understand that this is why. Now, how do we know when we've laid the 5 bricks enough? How do we know when we're savvy? How do we know when we're the best version of ourselves? We have to scrutinize that and take that into consideration ourselves. That means there are things that we are insecure about. I used to say, it was one of the things why I took salsa lessons. I mean, I could dance. I was a club head, a house music head, and I could dance, and but I didn't know salsa, so I took lessons. If you feel as though you don't feel safe, you don't feel like you can defend yourself, take a Muay Thai class, take a boxing class. If you don't know how to dress, find somebody who knows how to dress. Figure out what your style is. I have something for that. So if y'all can remember, when it comes to style, if I forget to go back to it, just put it in the comments. Don't forget the number's open, 929-269-4922. Now, he lost track of the girl. He only had her Instagram, but I asked him, why didn't he ask her for the number? Oh, I was going to ask for it at the next party, blah, 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 blah. You didn't. So, the funny thing, there's a back second part 2 to this story. So I get a call from him about 2 days ago, and he says to me, I said, well, look, if you really did vibe with her and she felt it too, there's a good chance that she will swing back later. So apparently it was a kind of an entourage of people who was at this party. The girl ran into one of the guys that was friends with my friend who's a DJ. She takes a picture with him and then tells the guy, text him the picture. Let me be clear. I want to just be clear about what I'm talking about. One of the guys that was at the party, who's a friend of my friend who's consulting with me, ran into that girl in their respective city. His friend took a picture with the girl and told him to send the picture, the text message. So this is her way of reaching out and reopening the door, right? Or at least it's an attempt to. It could be that she's just baiting you, right, to get attention and validation, right? Attempting to get validation, and she's using social media or the distance of social media. See, social media is a way of going, I'm talking to you, but it keeps a buffer between it. That's why you get the number. When a girl gives you her number, it's, she knows that you're going to be calling. The reason why you're asking for the number. If she gives you the Instagram, she knows you're going to be, and then she can buffer it by saying, I just don't have to respond if I don't want to respond. So I was like trying to explain to him that you don't think that you're worthy of this chick, and how should he respond to it? Now, here's the thing. At some point in time, if you're going to end up going out on a date with this girl, dating her, being with her, even just going out for a cup of coffee or hooking up, whatever it is, at some point in time, you have to breach that threshold, that societal threshold, that space between when we meet and, what's up? I don't believe that we should be, don't get me wrong, I feel like, there is an etiquette where things can move too fast and it'd be awkward, but I don't think so if you're, if we practice honesty. So in a situation like that, what I would do is I would hit the girl up, hey, saw the picture, what's up? Call me. And I'm going to leave my number. If she calls back, then I know she's interested. If she doesn't call back, I know she's not. Then I'm done. Now I'm not sitting back wondering whether or not this girl is interested or not, because I put the ball in her court, and I make it so that she has to respond. Now, she may be a weirdo where she doesn't want to reach back because she doesn't have the confidence to do that. Whatever the situation is, doesn't really matter. The point is that from that point on, you have a reasonable position that you can operate from based on what she says. If she hits you back, you should be going, yo, man, I was looking, I had a great time with you. I just felt like we lost contact. I was going to grab your number. What happened? What happened? And this way, I'm going to get a feel of where she's at immediately. Most of y'all are afraid to know what she's actually going to say. Why? Because you don't really want to be rejected. So you think if you do everything perfect, if everything is perfect, right? If everything is perfect, then you're gonna get laid, or you're gonna get the number, or it's never perfect. And the fact that you stop caring about everything being in place and if you're just honest about the fact, yo, I was really feeling you. Boom, just be honest. I was really feeling you. I was hoping I could see you at the next party, but I missed out. What's up? When, call me. Here's my number. Now we know what we know. She doesn't respond, we know what we know. If she does respond, we know what we know. And if she does respond, then she's giving you the green light to explore this. But the point I want to the biggest point of this is this. If you don't ask, your closed mouth don't get fed. You got to ask. I understand that rejection is part of that, and rejection is painful. But I would rather be rejected and know that somebody's not interested than to be hanging on a limb, hoping that I could just do the right thing. First of all, she's not going to respect you for doing that. You feel awkward because you don't. What do I do? Do I go too far? Do I not? Doesn't matter. It's I mean, I hate to go back to my violent days, but if I thought somebody had beef with me, I'm like, yo, we got a problem. If he goes yes, then I'm asking what's up, and if he says something that I think, I'm gonna punch him in the mouth. This way, I don't have to wonder if it's gonna get physical. I'm in control of what happens. Don't get me wrong, I understand a lot of times guys don't understand the nuance of things and don't know how to read it, but understand something. If you're on this listening to my content, if you're laying the 5 bricks, if you've done consultations, if I'm really working on the book too, so if you read the book and you go through the process of this, what you want to do is you want to know what you need to know so you know how to move forward. That makes sense? Phone lines are open. Let me go through this real quick. There was somebody asked a question. He didn't call in, so I'm gonna be nice enough. Said he's I'll call in. Uni Glory says I'll call in after I've done laying the 5 bricks. How Sterling writes in. Let me put it up. Sterling writes in, how does one deal with a male loneliness? Just moved to a new city. I'm alone and by myself. Sterling's at work. That's why he couldn't call in. All right. So Sterling, here's my point. If you're in a new city, it's not hard to not be lonely. I'm not sure what city you're in, but if you just Google social things to do on a Friday night or a Tuesday night or Thursday night, great places to meet people, to meet women. I mean, you could just literally Google it put it in the Google search, and a list of things. A lot of times free stuff too. speed dating, salsa classes, tango, martial arts, group meetups. If you're lonely and you're in a new city, it's because you want to be. Understand this, people are social. We're tribal and we're social. And we want to be in a situation where we want to meet up with people. Everybody who doesn't have somebody, they want somebody. So it's not just you. But you can't let fear control what your actions are. You have to rise above that. You have to supersede that. So you literally could go, you know what? Let me give you an example. Yeah. I'm gonna Google. I'm in New York City. Everybody knows I'm in New York City. Cool things to do. And don't get me wrong, I understand New York is a different city, but I don't care where you go. It could be line dancing. I don't know, but to do on a Thursday night. I'm just Googling this in RAM. Wait a minute, let me put real quick. In New York City. Okay, what to do? Here's literally a thing. What to do on a Thursday night. First thing that comes up, comedy club. Let's see what else. Brooklyn's coolest club. Pool tournament. The Lancey Rooftop. Best nightlife on a Thursday. Nightlife, here's literally a listing of nightlife things to go to on a Thursday night. It gives you Roxy Bar, the Nightly Cafe, Inwood Bar and Grill. Blah, blah, blah. Just literally, so what I'm saying is we're in a situation where the information, basically information, the world's information is at our fingertips. Utilize it. You might go something, it might not be your cup of tea, but you might go out and find something that you do like. So what I'm saying, just make an effort, bro. You're in a city, figure it out. Just Google it and go out. And don't wait. You don't have to have somebody to go out. In fact, if you go out, let's say you go out and you meet somebody and you come up to you meet some girl and you go, listen, I just moved into town. I'm by myself and I just wanted to come outside, meet people and socialize and kind of see if I can find my soulmate. If you could, even if you said that as a joke, how cool is that a thing to say? Just to breach the social construct. So just make the effort is I guess what I'm saying. Just make the effort. Let me put the numbers up real quick. Set up. Yeah. 929-269-4922. Don't forget, let me get this up real quick. Don't forget to like and share. Like, share, comment, and hit the bell so y'all know when I'm live in case I get a little locked down and can't get to it. But numbers up. Call in. Phone lines are open. Let me go to the comments. I think we had another one. So thousands of bottles. I was talking about the Usher thing. Thousands of bottles says, so you're saying Usher has the confidence and he just goes after it. Yes, that is true. But the point is also that Usher feels as though he has a certain level of value that because he is performing and he's Usher and whatever else. And so he just, he knows he has his pick of the litter. And how does he know that? Is because it's not his first rodeo. It's not his first concert. This guy has been performing. He knows that, he's been validated by the way women respond to him. Let's see. Or he has built himself in what he knows to be this a certain what his worth is. Sometimes I feel like I'm long-winded. It's something I've really been focusing on. Can you talk about this? Absolutely. Sometimes I feel like I'm long-winded. Even when I'm doing the podcast, I realize that I'm talking to you guys, and as much as I mean, if you look at some of the stuff that some of the shows, earlier shows to now, I'm always trying to get my point. I'm always trying to get my point across as quickly as possible. I'm always trying to remove the ums and the ahs and the pauses so that you guys can get a crystallized version of the message, so it's easier to learn, easier to recognize, easier to hear. Sterling Borg, why would she work so hard to bait a specific person? It doesn't even. She must have liked him to some extent. She must have been the girl, my friends, my DJ friend's prospect. She must have liked him. She must have enjoyed him. He said that they were laughing and joking, and the vibe was great. But understand something. I've never heard the saying of a woman of her word, meaning women. We don't hold women to the standard of them keeping their word. What we do is how should I put this? We allow women to be fickle, especially initially. And why do we do that? It's part of the empathy. Because a woman, like we said before, a woman has to put her life on the line to give you her number, to create a situation where you're connected to her, to put herself in a vulnerable position, so you could understand why she would be apprehensive. But in the moment, right? In the moment, she feels comfortable, she feels safe, so she's vibing with it. So it's not. A lot of times, it's not. No, and don't get me wrong. Let me say this. It could be malicious, but that's just not usually what it is. You know, people are just. I don't believe that people are innately aggressively mean. I think they're more selfish than they are mean, and people care about whatever stimulus is coming through their senses at the immediate time. And so she liked him. She was vibing. She was giving him a vibe, and he was the one plotting. How am I going to get this girl? And the problem is, you got to not plot. If you feel the vibe and you feel like this girl, get her number. Be honest about it. Y'all, I'm really enjoying your conversation. It's just, you're a joy to talk to. I love to hear you laugh. I like how you laugh at my jokes. Even just being honest about what it is so refreshing. One of the things that I say all the time about, Pete Davidson, when he dated Kim Kardashian. The story, I don't know if I've told this story, but the story is that she hosted SNL. Pete Davidson said, "You want to go for some ice cream?" Now, let me explain why that is so significant and so powerful. It's because at the time, Kanye was acting like a maniac. They were splitting up. They were fighting over the kids. There's always some guy trying to fly Kim Kardashian to the Saint-Tropez or to France or here, or come on my boat or whatever. The difference is, all she wanted was something simple. You want to go out for some ice cream? Something really simple. And that is what got him over, because he said the right thing at the right time in the right scenario to the right person. Now, the same token was when he tattooed her name on his chest. I was like, oh, this relationship's getting ready to end. And I'll tell you why. And if you look at the timeline from when he did that, and it was talking about him tattooing her name on his chest, I was like, on the podcast, I was like, yeah, they're gonna break up in a minute. And the reason why is because what she really wanted somebody to do is say, listen, I know you're going through some stuff. I know your baby's dad is giving you a hard time. I just want you to know, if you need me to fall back while you take care of the kids, I'm here. And I just want you to know I'm here for you. If somebody doesn't like that, if somebody's not recognizing that you're a good person by your actions, that you're willing to go, hey, I get it. I see you. I see that you're not in control of the situation. And I know that your children are important to you. Therefore, I'm going to chill. I'm going to chill. I'm not going to give you a hard time. Big shouts to Xavier. Xavier always coming through my G. $5 from the Cash App. Thank you, brother. So there's the right answer at the right time. But when you don't feel that you have the value to when you don't feel like you have the value to step up and just say what you want, it's because you really haven't worked at what you want to, what it is, the best version of yourself. Big shout out to Jonathan. Thank you for the $20 on the Cash App. Thank you. So that's it. You got to have the confidence, and if you're working on yourself every single day, if you're putting your best foot forward, that's what happens. I'm reading all. There's a lot of questions in the comments. I wish y'all would just call me up so I could figure this out, so I don't have to read. At this point, I always expect to be rejected. I don't even feel a type of way about it anymore. Okay, let me say this. I understand what you're saying. Oh, wait, let me back up. 1,000 bottles of baby oil. Here's what I would say. If you think you're long-winded, then start practicing not being long-winded. Before you open your mouth, stop doing stream of consciousness. Take a pause. Do like Obama. I mean, if to be honest, it's a great technique. Like Obama always sounds like everything he's gonna say is important because he takes pauses. Well, I think I'll have the carrots instead of the string beans. It's like, wow, that was the fact that you're thinking about. The fact that you're thinking about what you take a moment to think about what you're going to say before you say it. It's not a bad thing. It just means that what comes out of your mouth is important. It's not a bad thing. So let me say, so that's something you can work on. I mean, we can work on our weight. We can work on our style. We can work on whether we dance. We can work on our confidence. We can work on our posture. Whatever it is, there's space. As long as we're living, we have time to become the best version of ourselves. So let's do that. I mean, what else are you doing? Are we going to just stay the way we are, unpleased with it, with a lack of confidence about what we are, and just, 10 years from now, we'll still have these same things that we're afraid of? Doesn't help anybody. So I wanted to deal with this. Fitz says, at this point, I always expect to be rejected. Okay. I don't even feel any type of way about it anymore. Now, you're going too far. What you have to understand, when you're laying the 5 bricks, what are you doing? You're paying a compliment to somebody that's true. It's true. It's honest, and you're not expecting a response back. That's how you start out. You're not expecting, if what you're saying is honest, then you don't need a response. If you see a guy and the guy is 7'8", right? And you go, wow, you're tall. What is he supposed to respond to that? Yeah. It's just a statement. It's a statement of truth. And so when you're laying the 5 bricks and you're actually saying something honest, you're not looking for a response. People respond people usually respond when it hits home. When it's true, when it affects them in an emotional way, or when they appreciate the compliment, they'll respond. And sometimes they won't respond because they're distracted or something. What I'm saying is it's not about expecting to be rejected. It's doing it from the perspective, I am doing this because it's righteous. I am complimenting somebody's smile because they got a pretty smile for no other reason that they got a pretty smile. I'm complimenting somebody's cool t-shirt because it's a cool t-shirt. To have an ulterior motive is what makes it transactional. And once it's transactional, then you're going, I'm putting out something and I expect something back. When you expect something back, that's where the ability to be disappointed comes from. Because you're expecting something back. Let me see. Yes, that's true, Xavier. Local libraries do have a lot of stuff. What's going on too? There's 100 things to do. There's no reason why you should be lonely. But understand something. This is a process. Like when you look at Goofball Myron and all these and Kevin Samuels and all, it's all a technique. I'm not teaching pickup. This is not about technique. This is about you living a righteous life. And as you live a righteous life, the end result is that women find you attractive. That people in general find you unforgettable. Why do they find you unforgettable? Because you are. Because people are not righteous. People are dishonest. People lack credibility. They don't show up when they say people are not kind. They're not empathetic. We see this all of the time. So when you are these things, you realize just it's simple business, economics, supply and demand. If you're a human being who is scarce in the way that you operate, when you're not doing what everybody else is doing, it makes you a commodity. It makes you special. And that's where the confidence comes from. Phone lines is up, 929-269-4922. Sis says, there are sometimes local meetups as bars and group chats people can join for social. Understand something, man. They're lonely. You're not the only guy that's lonely. There are women that want men. I mean, that's you do understand we have a population problem. So somebody's fucking. People are fucking. People are hooking up. I understand in your microcosm of your life, it may not feel like that, but that's just not true. That's just not true. The population is not decreasing. It's growing. Why? Because people are putting the P's in the D's, or P's in the V's, I should say. So, or the D's in the P's. Xavier's playing, he said he's playing Dungeons and Dragons tonight. Look, you can meet a nerd girl. Look, I've seen some hotties at Comic-Con, if you into comic books and stuff. It's crazy. Right. You got to be open to be social. You got to be open to try new things. And when you try new things, that's what makes you interesting. Kevin the Maker says, "Sup, Dante, no question, but thanks for taking my call. That one time I realized that I'm a brackish fish. I'm attracted to traumatized women." Yeah, but it's probably because your mama's traumatized or your sisters, and you come from that ilk, so it just feels comfortable. Inspector Funk says, "I wish I had some game. Do you do private consultations?" Absolutely. I say it all the time. Inspector Funk, let me see. You can book a session with me. It's up on the screen right now. Go to DanteNero.com, click on consult. You can book one-on-one sessions with me. I've helped thousands of guys. The website should be up. The new website should be up by the end of this week. And I have a lot of the testimonials, all the different guys and different races and different looks and different people who I've helped, throughout their life. So check that out. Let's see. DanteNero.com. Click on consult if you need a session. Put the phone lines up. 929-269-4922. Going through the comments. Yeah. Wear snakeskin pants. No, you don't have to wear snakeskin pants. Although I do have a pair. That's not the point. I hope y'all know this is a joke, but I also do that. Yeah. Not a great movie. What is this? Not a great movie. But Eddie Murphy's 1,000 Words got me thinking and it helped. Yeah, I guess it does. I can see that. Big shout to Theo Wells. Thank you for the $5 in the Cash App. Thank you, Theo. I appreciate you, bro. Still waiting to hear from you. You know what the consultations are. DanteNero.com. Click on consult. Right. Closed mouth don't get fed. And understand something. A lot of things you're gonna screw up on. You're gonna make mistakes. Two things that you will always have to do as for the rest of your life as a human being is give forgiveness and ask for forgiveness. Shout out to Angie. What's going on, sweet niece? How you doing? I've complimented them on their haircut and they're always shocked, but very appreciative. Angie, you keep it up. You're going to get the business. Miles French, does this apply to women too? If worked, do not have an experience, does laying the 5 bricks work for them? Absolutely. Can you imagine that a woman that you find remotely attractive gives you a compliment? A honest compliment about something that's really honest and true? Let me explain something to you. I get that people love ass and titties and everything. You know what men find the most attractive thing about a woman is her taste in men when she likes you. You know what we like most? The fact that they like us. That's the thing we like the most. Got a call. Let me see what's going on. Let's see. Come on.
Press 2. Call from.
What's up? What's your name? Where you calling from, family? Shit, I lost him. Call back, family. I don't know. My mouse is acting up. Call back. I don't know how I lost you. Phone lines are open. 929-269-4922. I'll wait for you to call back. Matt, all of the above. What's going on in the chat? The chat's is jumping. I ain't gonna front. Y'all not calling in, but the chat is definitely jumping. Call back in. There it is. Let me see if I can get this. Bingo.
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
Hey, yo, what's your name? Where you calling from, family?
Hey, Dante, it's Tess from New Jersey.
What's up, Tess? What's going on? How can I help you, bro?
Some advice here. I've been talking to this girl for about 5 months now. I'm in the pursuing, trying to get, in dating her and stuff like that. And she never really mentions about being in a relationship. And I've stated that before. And that I'm always constantly reaching out to her all the time. She does reach out from time to time, but it seems like I'm putting more of the effort into it. And I know you say try not to ask for someone to be your girlfriend or anything like that. So what do you feel that I should do at this point?
Okay, the first thing I want to know is you said you've been talking to her for 5 months?
Yes.
Okay, why haven't you asked her out and you've been talking to her for 5 months?
So I've been asking her out. We've dated, all this type of stuff.
You have dated?
Yes, I have dated her.
Okay. How many dates did you go out on with her?
About 4 or 5 dates.
Okay, and what were the dates? How were the dates?
Dates were cool. I mean, some of them were dinner dates. Some of them were like art dates. So like she did a pottery thing, and then instead of doing pottery or like sip and paint, we did this like Splatterfest type of thing.
Yeah.
So that was pretty fun. So, but it just seems like I'm always the one who's always constantly reaching out. And like at this point, it's been 5 months, and I really do want to be in a relationship with her.
Okay, stop.
Really...
Stop. Why do you want to be in a relationship with her?
I see potential in her. She has the look that I like. She's pretty good at conversating, but only when I'm in person with her, not over the phone.
Why do you want to be in a relationship with her? Do you just want to be in a relationship, or do you want to be in a relationship with her?
I just want to be in a relationship.
Okay, that is
see a lot more potential.
Huge mistake. Okay. Can you imagine a woman that just is in love with being married and just wants to get married?
Right.
What do you think that would look like if she just wanted to get married?
It would just be pretty much a revolving door, to be honest with you.
Exactly. So I mean, I just shout out to my boy Ben. My boy Ben met this beautiful African woman. She scooped him up, made him move to Canada. He didn't even speak French. Changed his job, this, that, and the other. And then when he started consulting with me, I said, listen, she has a particular agenda, right? About like she's African, so it's like you got to understand immigrants are they a lot of times they're not on the level of fulfillment. It's more about obligation. So she's like, I want to have my PhD. I got my master's degree. I want to have my PhD by this year. I want to have 2.3 children by such and such time. I want to move at this place. I want to do this. I'm going to marry this guy. Da, da, da. And so what happened was he was just a placeholder for something that she didn't care whether it was him. She just needed somebody. She needed somebody to give her a baby, somebody to be there, somebody that was going to do what she wanted her to do. And then when he realized the relationship was horrible because it wasn't fulfilling. You want to be in a relationship. Why? Because you're lonely?
No. I mean, during this past 5 months, I've been dating other women as well because I haven't gotten the sense of whether or not she wants to be in a relationship.
Okay, but why weren't you not doing that in the first place?
No, I've been doing that. So
okay, so how many girls do you have on in the rotation? How many girls are you dating?
On the rotation, about 4 right now.
Okay, are you laying the 5 bricks too? Are you out laying the 5 bricks and meeting more people?
I'm out giving out compliments to strangers. Any women that I see. Are
you doing it 5 a day?
Nice. No, I am not.
Okay, so
not 5 a day.
Okay, here's my thing. There's a lot of reasons why you could want this. You could want this because of the fact that she's resisting. So sometimes we come from toxic situations where, I've said this before. I would never want to be part of a group that would have me as a member. Do you know what that means? It means the people that want me, I don't want them. But the people that don't want me, that's who I want. So the more resistance people are to me, the more I feel as though that is more important instead of looking at what is actually important, what I'm looking for. You don't know this girl. Do you speak to her on the phone a lot or no?
Sparingly, because like I said, I'm always the one who's reaching out all the time.
All right, but if you got to understand something. If she's not reaching out, she's not interested. You know that, right? Like if you had this unattractive girl and she kept hitting you up and you weren't hitting her back, right? Why would you do that?
True. But
no. Why? Give me an answer. Why would you do that? Why would you not? Because
I'm not interested.
You're not interested. So if this woman if she's not making an effort, she's not interested. And trust me, I understand that that's difficult to hear, but it's also the reality of it. What other reason would somebody not be hitting you back?
Right.
No, I'm asking you, is there another reason why they would not hit you back?
I mean, that was my main thought at this point, because I mean, I understand like people can get busy in life, but like
all of that. Listen, all that's bullshit. It's just like my whole Drake or my Usher thing. When a guy, they come to a con and they go, yo, shorty, let me get you, Mr. Usher wants your number. They go at it. There's no, if they're a fan, they're gonna make it happen. And if he wants to sleep with them, chances are they're gonna sleep with them, right? You got to treat yourself like you're almost like your Usher. At least, I'm not saying that they have to agree with it, but you have to treat yourself like you have value. Now, the fact that you've gone on 4 dates and it's not, and you're reaching out and she doesn't reach back, man, stop reaching out. Go find somebody else. You can't make people do what they don't want to do, and if they're not doing it, it's because they don't want to do it.
Right.
5 months is way too long to be dating 4 dates. I mean, you've shown her who you are. You said you've had nice times. You had good times. If she's not trying to close the deal, did you make out with her, or is there any physical content?
Definitely.
Did y'all sleep together or no?
Yeah, definitely.
And she don't, dog, just stop. The best way to find out where her head is at, because if she's casually sleeping with you, there's chances that she's casually sleeping with somebody else as well. So stop calling and then see what she does. And if she reaches back to you, hey, I haven't heard from you. And then you say, listen, I really like you. I'm interested, but you just didn't seem to me like you were interested. And then you'll find out your answer, right?
Right.
Now, if you don't want to ask somebody that while you're still talking, what you want to do is remove yourself. So this goes to something that I say all the time: make ultimate decisions, don't give ultimatums. What that means is, you make the decisions based on the information that you have, not speculate what the potential might be. She might be a potential. I mean, because here's the thing. Chances are, if she's sleeping with you casually, she's probably sleeping with somebody else casually. Now, she could be just sleeping with you, and she might be very busy. But here's the reality of that. If you want somebody to be your girl, you don't want somebody to be casual with you, right? So if she's so busy, right. Let's say she's trying to be a surgeon and she's interning and she doesn't have the time. She's not going to have time for you. Right?
Right.
So even if it is your girl, you're going to be miserable because you don't have time with her. So this is a lose-lose situation anyway. What you have to do is change the dynamic of the relationship. And the way you do that is you remove yourself. You remove yourself, you stop calling. If she calls, you go, hey, what's up, such and such. Don't ask to go out or nothing. don't set no date up and see what she says. And she's like, "Oh, I haven't heard from you." As soon as she says, "I haven't heard from you," you hit her with, "Well, I just didn't think you were interested." She goes, and she might say, "Well, it's just I've been really busy." I said, "We all are busy, but we make time for what's important."
Exactly.
And you go, I like you. I would make time for you all the time, but I just feel like I feel like you just say I feel like I'm just chasing you, and I really don't want to. I don't want to be with somebody who doesn't want to be with me, and I don't want to. I'm not chasing anybody because my intentions are sincere and honest. And I totally get that. And then what does she do? She got to put up or shut up, right?
Right.
But that's what you do. You put her in a position where the ball is in her court. 5 months. How many times did you sleep with her every time y'all go out?
No, 3 of the 5 times we had.
Yeah, it's a little weird, man. It's a little weird. And she might just want it casual. So if you don't mind it being casual and you're just going to date other people, you can do that too. And just don't pay her no mind. And when you feel like hooking up, you set something up or whatever. And then even then you should wait. This is what Angie says. Angie's the only girl in the chat. She says, "We make time for what and who we deem important enough to do so."
Sure.
But the fact that you're jumping the gun and you've decided that you want her to be your girl, never ask her to be your girl. If she wants to be your lady, she will make it clear. Trust me. I've never met a woman who wants something who's not clear about, who doesn't make it clear about what she wants. So if she's not saying it, it's because we have to assume it's because she doesn't want to do it. Okay? And she might just want to, she might want to just keep you on the roster and smash every once in a while and go spend a little time with you and keep it light and lively. But if you got to understand something, figure out what your non-negotiables are. If you like this girl in a way that it's taking up space in your head, right? And the feelings are not mutual, gotta go. But if you can put this in the context of just keeping it casual, and you have other options and other women, and you're gonna do that, she'll trust me when she's ready to. When you're not available, that's when you see really what you're worth. You understand?
I understand, Dante. Thanks for the advice.
You're welcome, bro. Anytime.
All right, thank you. Have a great night.
Have a good one, bro.
Bye.
Yeah, I mean, when we talk about authenticity and honesty and truth, the honesty and the truth is not just honesty with other people. The honesty is also honesty about ourselves. If somebody's not making the time, what if the honesty is also us being honest about the information that we have. And if we have clear information about what it is, I mean, you have put your best foot forward. That's all you can do. If she don't just shout out to Angie. Angie says, make her see what it's like to what you not being an option looks like. People take things for granted when it's right in their face. Anytime there's an abundance, people take it for granted when there's an abundance of something, and that goes even time and effort. But if you got a little roster and you dating and whatever, and she really had a good time, you could that's the other thing is you got to learn how to time travel. So that's a technique I use that makes the date move quicker and it creates excitement in the date. But you want to know time travel, you could either go to the Patreon. I have a couple of episodes on the Patreon about time travel. I've talked about it on here as well. But don't forget, let me see. you can sign up for the Patreon. Please do. It helps support the show so that I can keep doing this and I don't have to go to get a regular job. Support the show, get a bonus content and game at Patreon, and then you can ask these questions directly all during the week. You just hit me up on the Patreon. Also, if you need to learn it directly, go to book a session at DanteNero.com, click on consult. Also, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. Appreciate y'all. Phone lines are still open. Chats are going crazy, but it is what it is. Anthony Drassos in the building, and also the Cash App is up. Send me some money. Send me some money. We hour and 10 minutes in, hour and 15 minutes. I think we're gonna do an hour and a half, and then we out. Also, I want to announce this next Thursday. I'm gonna do we're gonna do a special show on Thursday with Professor Dave. Professor Dave, we're gonna talk about instinct, drive, pair bonding. Big shout, Teddy P, $5 in the cash for the super chat. Thank you, says thanks for the advice, Dante. Thanks, Teddy. Definitely apply it. Appreciate the platform. Thank you, bro. Appreciate you. We're gonna do I'm gonna do a special show with Professor Dave, and we're gonna talk about the basic fund, because a lot of the stuff that I talk about and the responses that we get, some of it is based on the social construct, but it's also based on just genetics. It's the way in which, like when I talk about safety and how important safety is to a woman, right? There's a reason why that's important. It's because when a woman, this is built into the DNA. When a woman is with child, like, and we got to understand something. There's a social aspect of dating and hooking up and having sex and pleasure and all of that. But on a base level, people as primates, as mammalian groups, we have a situation where we pair bond. We get accustomed to each other's smell, others' taste, the way we taste, having the comfort, the tone of the voice. We get used to that from being with each other. Human beings pair bond. So these are instinctual things where people mate for reasons. They feel safety. They want to feel safe. And so it's like, I don't like to use the alpha male, but a woman wants to feel safe with the man that she's with. So if she mates with a guy, the incubation period of a child is 9 months. And even after, how long does it take for a child to actually, big shout to Fitz Lawson. Thank you for the $5, dog. The pair bonding happens in human beings the same way it happens in animals. We pick there is a pecking order. A woman wants to feel safe because when she is with child, she is at the most vulnerable place for her safety. And so when you have inconsistency, or you lie, or lack of credibility, or lack of authenticity, of all of these things, what you're saying is, in essence, is that if you have a child, I'm not going to be there. I'm not going to be there. And if I'm not there, then there's a good chance that this woman, if she's not toxic, and if that's not how she's socialized, that she might pick a guy she might not pick a guy because she doesn't feel safe with him. Safety is one of the most, the biggest attractions anyway, because you can have a six pack and be cut up. But if you're an asshole, it's only a matter of time before your good looks wear off. Man, I can't tell you. I was hanging out with my boy, and he was dating this girl. She was cutie, but my God, what a horrible human being. Till she got uglier and uglier every time she opened her mouth. I ended up cussing that bitch out too, but that's neither here nor there. you gotta understand. So we're gonna do a show with Professor Dave next week, Thursday. Look at the scientific aspect of instinct, because I'll give you an example. I forget what it's called, but when we look at things, like when you look at a plug, like a plug on a wall, we see the two lines and the ground, and it looks like a face. That is something that is genetically built into us. When we were in the jungles, we needed to be able to see far faces in the foliage because lions, tigers, and bears were stalking us. And so if we couldn't see the faces stalking us, right, then we didn't survive. So the people, the mammals that developed that ability to see faces in the distance, they survived, and the ones that didn't, they got ambushed. So it's something as simple as that is that moves through the genes, through the DNA, step by step, generation after generation. We don't lose that. That's not the way evolution lasts. It doesn't, just because we stop using something doesn't mean we lose it. That's why you'll hear people say, "Oh, I saw Jesus in a slice of toast." That is a genetic thing where we've developed to the ability to do that. So there is a definite underlying instinct that affect relationships. And because we believe that we're above this, that we're intellectually above it so much, right, that we don't think it's important. But those instincts seep through the what I call there's an instinctual bed, and then the all those other things, those social constructs like monogamy and marriage and family and traditional family, those instincts seep up through that. So this is why we get jealous, just because we look at a woman's body as an opportunity for immortality in the sense of moving our genes to the next generation. And so when we lose a girlfriend or we lose a wife or whatever, we still have this feeling of the fact of possession, because of the fact that we don't want to give somebody else the opportunity. Like, you gotta understand that as a species, the way we become immortal is by having children, by moving our DNA to the next generation. And we want as many opportunities to do that. We want to spread our sperm as wide as we can but now, don't get me wrong, I don't think that that is the only drive, but to not take that into consideration when people are socially, when it is an instinctual and an evolutionary part of being a human being, I just think you do yourself an injustice. Let me see. Miles said, "What was something unexpected you learned as a father?" I learned that my son don't necessarily give a shit about me. That when kids are younger, the mother is such an intricate part of their lives that you don't start to become more important until your son gets older. I mean, I'm an affectionate dad. I'm a patient dad. I'm attentive, but all he really cares about is the affection that he gets from his mother. And it's hard for me sometimes because I didn't have that, and so I try to give him the affection as possible. But it was something that I had to kind of deal with. Yeah, I'm taking calls. Biggie J Tiggy, I'm taking calls. You can call in. Everybody's just sending me messages on the I'm sorry, I didn't put the number up. I'm taking calls 929-269-4922. Just everybody sending me questions on the comments line. So I was just dealing with that today. Let me see. So yeah, I think it's just part of a child. All right, that's what I'm talking about. Come on.
To accept, press 1.
Yo, what's your name? Where you calling from, family?
What's going on, Dante? This is Jay from Florida.
What up, Jay? What's going on?
Chilling, man. Big time fan of the show. I'm not sure how frequent the calls are coming in, but I definitely wanted to be efficient with what I had to ask.
Okay.
And I think it'll help. I think it'll be useful for everybody listening there too.
Hold on one sec. Big shout to No Biggie J Tiggy. Thank you for the $1.99 super chat. Thank you, bro. Appreciate you. Go ahead. But what's
that's me on the floor right now, right?
Oh, okay. All right. Thank you, bro. I appreciate you.
Yeah.
All right. So
yeah, no worries, big guy.
What's the question?
Love what you do. But for sure. So I got 3 quick ones real quick. I'll make them fast. So so as of recent, I've been finding myself trying to I watch each individual cast live to all the way up from like the past year up to where we are now and stuff, right?
Okay.
And I found something interesting. I was watching a clip of the one of the previous lives, and you were talking about something along the lines of if you're dealing with, let's say, a chick or a friend that's being a bit like challenging in communication or something like that, and you're to the point
wait,
where
I didn't hear that. Repeat that.
I was saying when you're dealing with excuse the coughing, but I'm saying you're dealing with, let's just say, hypothetically speaking, a girlfriend or even a guy friend where the communication, like you're giving them like, good friendship, good relationship, but you're just not getting the same thing in return.
Yeah.
So based off of what you say, I know you mentioned how if it comes to that and it's too persistent, you'll stop reaching out. You'll basically cut them off without telling them that you're cutting them off, right?
Absolutely.
So my question is, I heard you oversay something in the clip where it's like, if they reach back out to you, and you won't make it a point to reach out to them, but say if they reach out to you after noticing you haven't been active with them for a while, you'll be like, oh, you've been busy, or you'll say something like, oh, I got this going on, da-da-da-da-da-da. I know that was a lot, but my question is, does any part of you feel, because I know how you preach, like, authenticity, credibility, and empathy, right? ACE. Does any part of you feel like that might be kind of combative with the authenticity part? Because although you're just trying to get them off the phone because they're not being cooperative, it kind of does seem like a little bit like deception.
It depends. So let me be clear about that, right?
Yeah.
When
that makes sense what I was trying to ask, correct?
Yeah. You're saying
okay.
If we're talking about being honest and the relationship is the person is not reciprocating the relationship in a way that's comfortable for me, right? Or I feel like I'm putting all the effort in, right? I stop talking. I stop reaching out. I don't give it the same energy. Now, when the person, if the relationship is important to me, I go, they'll say, man, I haven't heard from you. And I go, yeah, the phones go both ways, dog. You didn't call me. If the friendship is important enough, I'm going to say, well, I mean, look, dude, I get that we're all busy, but, we do what, the same thing I tell y'all. Everybody does what they think is important. We make time for what's important. So I have to assume that because you're not calling me, it's not important. Now, I have friends of mine who I haven't spoke to, and when they call me, the first thing they will do is apologize because they got busy.
Mm-hmm.
Do you understand? So that already tells me that somebody's for me because they recognize that they're not so selfish and oblivious to the fact that they just have been unresponsive, right? Now,
Okay.
if I'm not dealing, if I'm choosing not to deal with somebody, right? That's a whole different thing. Now, this person it depends on whether I think that the person is worth saying yo, this is, what this was, whatever this was, or whatever you thought it was, it's kind of disrespectful. And I'm not checking for you if you're not checking for me.
Right.
I think that's fair. But if it's somebody who I'm not trying to, like I'm really not trying to fuck with no more, I usually they won't even respond. Like, oh,
Okay.
what's up? Chances are I'm not going to pick up the phone, right? Because I've already made up my mind. Now, if the person understands that, they respectfully understand that I'm not picking up the phone, because they're unresponsive in the first place, they usually just kind of fade away to bogey land. You feel me? So
Right.
I don't even have to say anything. Now, if they confront me about, yo, I've been calling you, ain't calling me, blah, 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 blah. And then I'll be like, listen, I think that what you got, you're very, I have one of my mans right now is like very negative. The stuff that I see him put online, I'm not cool with. And I'm just done. It's like
I totally get it.
Yeah, we've had this conversation before, and I've debated him about stuff, and he's reckless, and then he has a tendency to sometimes get drunk, and then he jumps out the window, and then he apologizes. I just rather not. You got to understand something. Time is the commodity, and when people when they don't deserve your time, you got to stop giving it to them. Because they'll totally take it. They'll take it. So does that make sense?
And manipulate you.
Yeah.
No, totally. All right. I know I said I had 3 questions, but I do want to be respectful of time. And
no, go ahead. I mean, because I'm gonna shut it down. We're an hour and a half in. Go ahead, finish up.
All right. I have just one last important question, right?
Sure.
So my thing is, I actually wrote it down. So how can or would you express what you don't like about your girlfriend? Or, your girlfriend to other cronies like friends or family, truthfully, without coming off like you're putting it down.
Okay, what do you now? You're expressing this to her or to her family?
Like to family.
To your family or to her family?
To her family.
Why are you doing that?
No, I'm just saying if it's a situation like where, let's just say you have a girlfriend, y'all been going together for some time. You guys you have a good connection going. Then let's just say it comes to the point where you're meeting the family or like the parents or something like that. And y'all are having conversations amongst each other. And then the topic comes up like, okay, maybe it's you and the parents alone. And it's like, okay, what do you like about our daughter? What do you don't like about our daughter? And stuff like that. And it's like, you don't want, because I know you have mentioned this where it's like, oh, do I look fat? Do these jeans make me look fat? You want to, be truthful. You don't want to be hurtful.
Yeah, but you don't have to be.
Compromise
your critique with your girlfriend is with your girlfriend. It's not with her parents.
Right. Okay.
That's just not something you do. I mean,
okay,
now if they're cornering you, if y'all are breaking up and you telling them why y'all get ready to break up and you're breaking up because you've hit this non-negotiable, then you can say, listen, this is just really not working out. And then, and if say the mother likes you and wants you, and you're honest about what it is. But even in that situation, you probably have already been honest with her. Like if y'all are getting ready to break up, I would hope that you would have told her what the problem is, right?
Of course, yeah.
So why is it? And if you're moving on anyway. I mean, if you want to give the explanation, giving the explanation to her mother or the parents is only important if they're asking it. If they're not asking it, why would you volunteer that?
Well, not necessarily volunteering it. I'm just saying if a situation comes up, and it might not necessarily be you guys breaking up, but it's just your the parents trying to understand, your feelings for her and trying to get your honest opinion because we all have, things we like and or dislike.
It's none of their business. I'll tell you this: it's none of their business.
Mm-hmm.
And talking to her parents about what her flaws are that's only going to be a problem.
Heard that.
The only person that you should say that to is her.
Respectfully.
Now, if she is the person who, got her mom and dad all in your relationship, and then they're coming to you about this, that, the first thing you need to do is put them in their place about that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand. I with all due respect, I understand that y'all been married for X amount of time, or maybe not been married. What's also is sometimes people get involved in their relationship is shit. I respect your daughter, and I need you to respect our privacy. And the problems that we have, I will tell her. Now, if she chooses to tell you, that's on you. Do you understand how, even though that's shutting them down, how much more of a man that makes you look, even in their eyes?
Right.
As opposed to you whining to her mother or father about what she, if you got to whine to her mother and father about this, right? Then she doesn't respect you. Like, everything leads to something else. If you got to talk to them about it, she doesn't respect you. And if she doesn't respect you, why would you be in a relationship with somebody that doesn't respect you? You understand how one thing leads to the next?
Yeah, it's like a chain of command.
Yeah, and if she's talking to her parents and then they feel like they need to talk to you about it, you even then you should be with all due respect. This is really none of your business. This is between her and I, and I'm with neither one of us are perfect. And we're both flawed, and we're trying to work this out. And I just don't see how you being in this is going to fix that. Whatever I have to do, we ultimately have to be able to communicate with each other back and forth, and get it, and respect each other in a way that we get it. And if we can't do that, then the relationship is shot.
Right.
It's already done. When is there a situation when somebody's mother got into it and it's better, or somebody's father? Because they
pretty much never.
Right, and they're not fucking her. So to them, it's at least you hope they're not fucking her, right? And so they see their little princess the way they see their little princess. To the same token, if they're shitting on her. My first wife, man, when my first wife got her master's degree, her sisters and it was like, oh, thank you so much for coming into her life. You really helped, because my first wife had a daughter, a 2-year-old daughter. She was she's doing so much better in school, and and thank you so much. And they're thanking me. To the point, and they were like, she would have never gone to school, never got her associate. Like, I helped her get her associates, helped her get a bachelor's, and then she went for her master's. And when she got her master's, they were just so happy that she was getting her master's, because she was fucking up so much before that. But I was like, listen, she did this. She did the work. I mean, I'm a man. I'm supposed to be there for. That's what I'm supposed to do. But you need to pat her on the back for what she did. That's what I said.
Heard you.
So even when they were trying to discredit her, right, which, I mean, rightfully so, because she ended up, just being selfish and not really appreciated. But that doesn't matter. Like, we don't live righteously because of what the response is. We live righteously because it's the right thing to do. And because of that, that's where the confidence comes from. The confidence comes from is when people are being shit, you're still being dope. You know what I mean? Make sense?
Especially because I was just going to say, especially because that quality, like you mentioned all the time, isn't very common.
Oh, it's rare as shit. It's rare as shit.
Exactly.
And even when it's not, even when somebody practices it, there's always a point where they fall off.
Right.
It gets easier with time, but it's hard to stick to it,
Especially if that's not who you truly were from the beginning.
Yeah. Absolutely. It takes time and effort and all of that. So does that make sense?
Totally.
Okay.
I appreciate you, Dante. I did wanted to say one last thing, and I'm off the call, I promise.
Go ahead.
And this is unrelated, But I know how whenever you're on In God For We Trust, or even when you're doing your own thing, you always, and even the books stand behind you, man. You know, I be taking notes, but you always throw the recommendations out.
Yeah.
So I'm actually reading a book that you might have recommended on the podcast. It's called White Rage.
Yeah, I got it. It's over my shoulder, yeah.
All right. Yo, I'm in the chapter right now. They're talking about the Great Migration, and it's like every single page that I'm reading, it's like I can literally hear your voice saying that exact line, whether you're talking about the Homestead Act or the Great Migration, all of that stuff. So I just wanted to say, regardless whether it's relationships or just being authentic to yourself or just trying to be the best version of yourself, man, I just want to let you know that if nobody else tells you, which I know is BS because everybody will, I just want to let you know, for me personally, I appreciate 100,000% what you do for everybody on these lives with the entire Man School 202 entity.
I appreciate you, man. Thank you. Thank you.
That's the game you give to everybody, man.
Hold on one second. Big shout out to Miles French, $25 on the Cash App.
Yep, shout out to him. But Dante, thank you for everything. I've already been on here 20 minutes damn near, so thank you for everything, and you enjoy your night, champ.
All right, brother.
Yes, sir. Have a good night.
All right. Also, shout out to Fitz Lawson, $5 on the Cash App. Thank you. That's the last call for the night. Oh, big, before you hang up, if after you finish White Rage, Medical Apartheid should be the next one you read, and the next one after that is Color of Law. That's a great Black History foundation to start from. Medical Apartheid and then Color of Law. Those are really dope books. Real quick. Don't forget the Patreon. Please sign up for the Patreon, y'all. It really helps us to continue the show. Patreon.com/manschool202. There it is. It's up now. Also, if y'all need me, one-on-one consultations at Dante, book a session, 101 DanteNero.com. Click on consult. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and hit the bell so you know when we're going live. And I've been a little sketchy. A lot of stuff's been going on, but we'll be more consistent within the next few weeks. Probably going next time we go live. It'll be on Tuesday. All right, y'all. Peace. Love y'all, man. GYBB, get your balls back. WWDD, What Would Dante Do? Sexual Revolutions being podcasted. Love y'all, man. Peace. We out of here.